Welcome to another Christ Church of Jackson video. Today's topic is entitled Retrieval Practice, which comes from us, or to us, from our daily bread dated September the 12th, 2024. It begins with how we sometimes blame our growing older for not being able to remember a name or the facts related to a story we are trying to tell. Many at one time believed that this was caused by our old age. But recent studies do not support that theory. Our memory isn't the issue at all, but our ability to retrieve information is due to a lack of practice. Have you ever memorized something and then later had difficulty remembering it? The reason is that we probably didn't practice it as often as we should. Some of you will be able to remember your grandparents or great-grandparents who memorized complete chapters of the Bible. Sometimes we have difficulty memorizing things for a test in school or college. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 8, we read, "Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy." Why did God give us these instructions? Because it was a day, Sunday, but it could be any day, the Lord had set aside as an example for us to cease from all kinds of normal work and remember He created all things in 6 days and then He rested. He gave us an example of being holy, pronounced in Hebrew as Kodash, suggesting that it is the treatment of the day as special and set aside to rejuvenate us, not only in our mind, our bodies, but also in our spirit. Now, I realize that this is far from the truth of today. Some have rationalized away just about every aspect of the day of rest called Sunday, or whatever day you set aside for your rest. We often fail to set it aside and rest or focus on its holiness. Instead, sometimes we often try to squeeze church in just so that we can cram in just about everything else we have to do for the next 10 hours after church. I remember as a child, it was normal for us to go to church on Sunday, and then we would go to visit our grandparents, or sometimes even go home from church with another family for lunch or dinner. As a child, it wasn't always something I looked forward to, but it was a time set aside to visit, rest, and share together with others. As we move closer to artificial intelligence, we aren't required to remember very many things. Our devices, when we remember to charge them, remember for us. Ask yourself how many phone numbers you have memorized. Today, our phones recall them for you. In fact, you can set it up so that one digit calls a particular person. We tend to forget information we once considered important. Well, how does this reflect on your memorization of Scripture? Do you practice often? Do you find it hard to find the time to practice? You realize we have the same 24 hours that our parents and grandparents had, who memorized complete books, passages, poems, and this was in grade school. The other day, someone mentioned that it was important for us to be a fountain rather than a drain. I'll let you decide which of these you desire to be and whether or not keeping Sundays holy will support your Christian walk towards being a fountain to others. You might also check out our church app at Christ Church of Jackson, which you can find on our website. There's a QR code. It's in our bulletins weekly. It's in our weekly online newsletter on Facebook. And if you join our church app, you will find that the scripture for the month that we are to learn is listed there. Imagine, how many times do you check your email a day? How many times do you check the weather, the news? What if every so often you check to see if you remembered the scripture verse for the month? It's up to you. Remember, keep practicing. God bless.